Hey, I just wanted to put up a little travel update. It's been a while. So I left Albania a long time ago, and it's been a long journey to get here. I'm in the Philippines finally. It's November 2023. I am in the smallest trike in Angeles City. Like, see my head? This reminds me of the little car I tried to get in Tennessee, but I actually fit in this one. Look at how big that belly is. But my bags are here. I'm sitting on one bag. Boom, boom. It's just the funniest thing in the world. But the trike over at the stand, the guy was just being a loud chatterbox, and I don't do well with the loud, like, trike. This guy dropped off a couple ladies. Two ladies got out of this trike. I don't know how they were riding in it. And I asked him, so he's taking me over there. I'd much rather grab people off the street than deal with the queue, and you never know what you get. So if I see somebody I get a good cinch from them, I'll stop and ask them. And they can always say no. We negotiated 150 or 100 from 150. But I'm gonna pay you. Nice guy. Anyway, yeah, can't believe I'm back in the Philippines. Loving it. So this is held together with zip tie, baling wire, inner tube, stick, wire, inner tube, baling wire, shoestring, inner tube, zip tie. This is like a piece of plastic cardboard. Gotta love it. Somebody's grinding their heart out. So I thought I was getting this scenic tour on accident. I thought it made a wrong turn, but this whole ditch here kept them from taking the first three approved routes. So we had to take the around the world route. Oh, look, and it opens up here. I just missed it. Oh well, but yeah, that big ditch ran the whole way there and kept the cut acrosses from being accessible. Huge traffic jam because of it. Just trying to get down to the drag, grab a beer, and either stay there or book a hotel. Probably just stay there tonight, just because I want a reliable place. But it's fun being back in the trike and getting the bird's eye view. The whale's eye view, not the bird's eye. But let me switch back over so I don't get lost again. Yeah, I just wanted to put up a little travel update. It's been a while. So I left Albania a long time ago, and it's been a long journey to get here. I'm in the Philippines finally. It's November 2023. So how did I get here and what have I been doing? When I left Albania, I went on a kind of around the world or around Eastern Europe trip. I was bouncing through cities. I had a great time. I intended to do a little blurb on every city as I passed through and post it, but boy, YouTube is hard. Like, I shot video I made a lot of mistakes. I've been making a lot of mistakes about YouTube for a long time. So I was shooting video, on GoPro, on this phone, on that phone, and then trying to pull it all together, put it on the laptop and cut it into something coherent and get it out. It was just a hassle. And so I was more excited about being outside, wandering around, cruising through the misty park, or enjoying the sunny day in the city, than I was sitting at my laptop, crunching video. So I didn't get much done. And then I bounced out. I went to America for 2 months, went on a trip in America with some friends, had a great time. And then I went back to California. I was trying to get in to see the VA, but I couldn't really find a place to stick and stay. And the VA was challenging, to say the least. So I bounced out of, California is such a toxic place for me. I'm not saying it is for you, but for me, it's just a really toxic place. It's a little city where I've been living for 10 years. They just have no interest in doing what's required to have a clean, safe, polite city. They just have no interest in it. And so, the confrontations on the street, people, there's no smoke-free zone. I don't mind cigarette smoke, but I don't like, other drugs. And there's no place anywhere in that city where you can go and not, be smoked out by somebody. I went to far corners of parks, walk for 3 hours to get there, and still, somebody would sit down eventually and smoke me out, and I'd have to get up and leave. And it's just a toxic environment for me. So I bounced out of California kind of hastily. I spent, I think it wasn't that long. Went to Japan because of flights. So I got a really great deal using points to get to Japan. And then I spent a couple hours in Tokyo. And then I went to Hiroshima, where I pretty much, I walked around a little bit, but I pretty much didn't leave the hotel. It was just like sleep, rest, eat, and I'd go out on short walks and just check out a little bit of the city. And then I went to Osaka, and Osaka was more the same. I left the hotel like twice, and that was like on a mission to go get something. But I really got a taste for Japan. I really want to go back to Japan. Every encounter I had, whether it was on the bus or in the train station, like I'm in the train station trying to figure out how to get the train to the airport, to fly to Korea, to fly to the Philippines, and this old lady walks up and she sees I'm struggling with it. Not a lick of English, not even hello, not even anything. And so I show her, she's trying to figure out what I'm doing, and I don't speak any Japanese. Arigato is like, my word, I got that, right? But, so she grabs my phone, with my hand very gently. She wasn't being rude about it. And kind of looks to see where I'm going. I show her the airport. And then she shows me the pricing. So you use a pricing chart over here, and then you buy the ticket for the money amount, and then you just ride the train. And it's kind of like a BART in that sense, but the trains are going every which way. So it wasn't more, like a direct BART route. It'd be like sitting at MacArthur, and okay, well, I'm buying, a ticket for, $5, and I'm going to go here or there, and then you pick the route and you get off. Anyway, so she showed me how to do that, and, just like, how often does that happen in any city in the world where a tiny, great grandmother comes up to a total stranger in a major city and is trying to help you at the bus or the train kiosk machine? I've been a lot of places, and I've had a lot of people step up and help me, some kids, some adults, English or no English, but I've never had anything that significant. And it really just struck a chord with me about the nature of Japan. And that was just one story of, many instances like that. It was like nonstop, I'm fumbling around like the kid. I always go back to Avatar, and when she's running around with Jake, and she's like, you're a child.
But stupid. Ignorant like a child.
You're a child. Well, I was a child in Japan, and it was, a great experience, but it really showed me tells of the culture. So I really want to go back. So I'm here in the Philippines, plan to do a little hibernation for a couple weeks. I don't plan on doing much YouTubing or vlogging or filming. You know, I may go film a few small things that I think are interesting, but there's so many vloggers in the Philippines. I mean, I'm probably in the highest density of YouTubers. You know, YouTube should just put a damn server farm right here, because there's so many YouTubers right here, like within, you know, 3 or 5 miles of me. It's just insane. So, you know, there's not much value I can bring, and there's so many people who've, you know, been here for years and they know the ins and outs. There's nothing, you know, I need to record for me, and there's nothing that I can really share to other people that's of value, that you can't get better quality elsewhere. So what I do plan on doing is rummaging through the dozen or so hard drives I've filled in the last year and a half and putting out clips of the last year and a half, trying to fill in, you know, the gaps. One thing I'm going to focus on is getting, you know, every hotel I stay at, I do a room walkthrough. So I want to go through and pull all those together, get them up there. There's a playlist if you're interested in that. You can see what the rooms look like in every hotel I've stayed at. And I may do a couple videos about just hotel stays. So I may do some like administrative type stuff like that, but I really just want to clear those hard drives and delete a lot of that video that means nothing and has no real value going forward, and then post, you know, the good memories and the good learning experiences, so, you know, I can share that with my friends, family, and you know, anybody who's interested. But that's what I got going. It is nice to be in the Philippines. You know, Philippines is kind of a yin and yang. A friend of mine got this fortune. Sorry, I laugh every time I think about this. So we would go to this all-you-can-eat buffet, and he pulls this fortune cookie, fortune out, and it said something to the effect of, "If you ever feel unwanted, stop making your car payment." And then he would add, always, you know, he would quote it all the time, and then add, you know, the restaurant name behind it. And it was just the funniest thing, because it's so true, right? But I got to tell you, if you ever feel unwanted, come to the Philippines, because every 5 steps, somebody's going to be yelling at you, trike, or they're going to be trying to sell you something, or trying to do this, or trying to do that. And after a while here, you'll see they're not really interested in you, they're interested in your wallet. But, and you need to listen to this, there are 20% of those people who are interested in you, especially once you get out of the bigger cities. It's been my experience in the past. It may be different now, but that was always my experience, is once you filter through the chatter of people just trying to get something from you, there are people who are genuinely nice, good people who just want to get to know other people and, you know, and go through life and have a good time while they're doing it. So, you know, if you are feeling lonely and unwanted, definitely come to the Philippines, because somebody will be yelling at you every, you know, 10 steps to get your attention. And it drives me crazy sometimes. There's a whole little thing I did in Bucharest. I may retell that story just because it was so funny to me, and I wish I'd recorded it, but I was just having a hard time in Bucharest, and I let go on a couple taxi drivers, and honestly, I'm surprised I got out of there with the few teeth I have left. But yeah, I was a bit of a smart ass to them, and it's a funny story, so I may retell that soon. But that's where I'm at. That's what I'm doing. I'm just going to hibernate for a few months. I may go to Thailand. I want to get some medical stuff checked out, and didn't really work out using the VA. Couldn't really find a place where I was comfortable to sit down in America on my budget for a few months without a car, without buying a lot of stuff. You know, I could easily like dig in and get established, but you know, for me to reestablish, it's going to take me about 3 months just to get all the basics in life, right? And you know, finding a place where you can afford to live on a pension or a fixed income and not have a car and have some dignity is definitely challenging in America. You know, most of the places where you can afford to live on a budget like mine and there's good public transportation, you don't want to live. You don't want anybody to live. But the crime in so many places in America is just so out of control. It's just not a healthy place for me mentally at all. Especially the drugs. Like, I could not get over the rampant use. And it was funny because I was in Chico, California, and years ago I was at a city council meeting, and somebody arguing for more dispensaries in town said, oh, well, they aren't going to be smoking on the street. They can't be smoking on the street. There's not one park you can go to in that city where you're not going to get smoked out and get a contact high. And it's just so funny to me. The jewel of Chico is definitely Sycamore Pool, Bidwell Park. And you go down there on a Sunday afternoon, and it is like a 420 festival from the 60s. It's like I went to Surf Flicks when I was in junior high. They'd rent out a big auditorium, and they'd play, like, Endless Summer was the first one. It was great, because as a kid, you go in there, and the lights go out, and everybody's sparking up. And it wasn't tobacco. And so they turn on the lights. This is like, early 80s. They turn on the lights at intermission. They literally had to change the reels on the projector. And the smoke level is like 10 feet off the ground, and we're halfway up to bleacher seats. Everybody in there had a significant contact high. And that's what a lot of the parks I found in California are like now. And the places where they aren't like that, it's not really affordable on a pension or fixed income. So it's not worth my time. It's not worth my fight. If I can go to Thailand and get some medical tests done I want to get done, I may do that. I may explore the option here. The Philippines has some great medical care. I'm not sure how the prices compare, but I'll get it sorted out and I'll get it done either way. But I intend on staying in this region of the world for a while, and then maybe like late summer, head back towards Europe, pass through America, see some friends, and go back to Europe. Either midsummer or late summer, just kind of depends. When I say summer, I mean American or Northern Hemisphere summer. Seasons down here don't really strike me as summer and winter. They're more wet or dry. And that varies like what part of the islands you're in. I'm just starting to learn that. But that's what I got. That's what I'm doing. If you want to see some clips of where I've been in the last year and a half, stay tuned. I'm going to try and post like one a week. And, it won't be great quality. Like, I look at these other YouTubers and they put out some damn good quality stuff. And I look at the videos I make and they're like, meh. But it will give me an idea what a fat old man on a fixed income can do. And if I can do it, then you can do it, right? And that was like one of the core reasons why I want to start a YouTube. It's like, show people that you don't have to sit around your chair in America being miserable. If you have a desire, or itchy legs, as they say, or cabin fever, and you have a little bit of income, the world is open to you. It's just a matter of how you do it. And that's probably the one thing I think I can share with people, because, I'm not a great YouTuber, I'm not a great storyteller, I'm not this, I'm not that, but I do have the confidence and the outgoingness to jump in the water and go see what I can see and do what I can do. And I have the drive to, go do it. I'm not content sitting in a chair waiting to die anymore. And that's a whole nother story. But the world is a beautiful place. I want to figure out where I can go and go do as much as I can. Can't go everywhere I want, but there's a lot of places I can go, a lot of places that aren't beyond the reach. It's just a matter of putting the steps together to get there. Probably the biggest moment for me, two biggest moments for me was, that really like rocked my vision of what's possible, is I land in the Azores. I get out of America, I lay over in Boston, I land in the Azores, a few nights in a hotel, go to the house I was house sitting at, and I'm sitting there, and first night in the house, you're just like, let me drop my stuff, and I'm still jet lagged, I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and I'm like, whatever. And I open the back door, and there's a cliff and the ocean. Nice little backyard, a cliff, an ocean, and miles of nothing but open ocean. I look right, there's a nice point I can see. I look left, there's a coastline, and left was north and open ocean. I'm like, wow. And then the other one that really rocked my world was I took a little side trip from there, and I'm in Italy, and somebody I met along the way, it's like, hey, go check out this city. If you're in Bari, take the train down here. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I go take the train down there. Holy smokes. And there's this, it's epic. And I always say it wrong, Paganamaro or something. It's south of Bari. It's Google search, you'll find it. It's super easy. It's maybe an hour train ride, and the train is super easy. So anyway, I end up down there, and I'm like, this is fabulous. I go to this little meat and cheese shop. They do food, but I think they're mainly a deli, and top line meat. And the owners there are just fabulous. Like, I can't say enough. And I end up I'm on essentially a layover. I've got 8 hours to make a flight, and I just went down there, and I'm like, stripping off my clothes and jumping in the water and going for a swim off the coast of Italy. And if you go back 3 years of my life, you'd be like, there's no way this guy's ever going to make it to Italy. Nobody would have looked at me in 2020, 2017, 2012, any time in my life and said, this guy's going to be swimming off the coast in Italy. Nobody would have ever said that. And here I am, swimming off the coast of Italy. I find this little cave. I didn't discover it, but I find a little cave. I swim deep in this cave. I meet a couple locals. We're chatting, laughing, and it was just one of those moments. It was so great. The realization that I'm here. Wow, this is real, and the people are amazing. And part of that is I didn't have that negative attitude. I didn't have that negative Nelly on my back. I wasn't hunched over. I wasn't giving mean mug to everybody. I was just happy. And that was a real breakthrough moment for me. I've had those a lot, but that's what I was looking for when I decided to leave America, and that's what I found. And I found it all over. And it's easy to find once I got out. So circling back to what I told these two stories, if I can do it, pretty much anybody can. I mean, if you can walk and you've got a couple thousand a month on fixed income, you can go pretty much anywhere you want. Now, some places are obviously off limits because of finances, right? But there's other equally beautiful, fabulous places. And it's just a matter of getting out there and doing it. If you need help with that, message me. But that's what I, hope anybody who watches a bunch of my videos takes away. Like, if this idiot can stay at that hotel, then I sure as hell can too. How did he do that? Or if he can go swim off the coast of Italy and the Baltic Sea in the same week, why can't I? Right? That's doable. And it's doable for almost everybody on a fixed income or retirement, SSI. It just requires a little bit of courage, a little bit of gumption, and a desire to do it. Like, if you want to sit around and talk shit on Facebook or do this or do that, more power to you. Enjoy your life. If you want to go down to Starbucks or the bar and drink yourself to death with sugar or alcohol, more power to you. Enjoy your life. I decided I didn't want that life, and I'm out here living it. Boy, this took a real weird spin. But that's my travel update. I'm going to be, like I said, I'm going to try and get about 1 out a week. I've got tons and tons of files to organize and cull through and kind of put together in some coherent matter of a video. But the room walkthroughs will be up. There isn't a lot of dialogue with those. It's just kind of showing what's in the hotel. And I didn't do the Airbnbs for privacy concerns. I film every Airbnb when I walk in for my personal safety, financial safety. You know, if they say this or that, I can say, hey, here's the video. And I've had to do that with Airbnb, but I don't post those, and I never will post those unless the owner asks me to. But you know, even then, I'd probably have a lot of reservation about it. So yeah, I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're ready for the holidays. I hope you're going to have a great holiday season. Hope you enjoy Thanksgiving and Christmas. You know, life is really good when you work hard at curating your life to be good. And that's something I didn't really grasp. And I can go into more detail about that if anybody's interested. So take care.